Good morning, beautiful people. I'd like to wish all the moms out there happy Mother's Day, and all the women who wish that they could be moms. I'm sending so much love to you. And I had quite a profound and deep process this morning around waking up on Mother's Day alone. My daughter is in Cape Town and I am in the Garden Route. Hi, Mel. Mel wanted to say happy Mother's Day as well. And I felt very alone and very separate. And it set off quite a interesting inner dialogue around separation. And it's something, a storyline that I have struggled with throughout my life. And I know that there are many, many people who deal with the same thing of feeling separated, whether it is from others, from the world, from source, whatever your faith may be. But the fundamental sense of separation is one that arises when we feel separate from ourselves. And so I was brought into this incredible process around my inner child. And I went to a place where I was about 9 or 10, and I was doing horse riding lessons. I was obsessed with horses, of course. I've always been obsessed with horses. And my parents had just got divorced. And we were struggling a lot financially. And I went to a very wealthy school. I went to a private school, an alternative school. It was a Waldorf school, but it was private. And a lot of the children, most of the children in the class came from very wealthy families. And my best friend lived next door to a horse riding school. So after a year of begging, relentless begging, eventually my mother relented and she said that I could do horse riding lessons. So this was just the best thing, and I loved it, and it was my whole entire life. I would literally count down the sleeps. I had little sleep calendars and all the things that kids have, and I was really good at it. And we had a lovely class, and the girls in the class were all good friends of mine, and they all kind of looked up to me. So I just felt I was on top of the world. After a year, my mother said there was no money left, or there was no money available for horse riding lessons, and I would have to stop. And I was absolutely devastated. It was the one thing in my life that brought me happiness. There was a lot of turmoil and trauma in our home life, and horse riding was the one thing that just gave me joy and escape and pleasure and fun and connection and all the things that were beautiful in my life. And I remember going back about a year later to visit. I was spending time with my best friend, and we popped over, and all of the girls they'd of course advanced after a year, and they were doing jumps that were much higher than what we'd been doing when I was still there. And it was things that I couldn't do. And I felt so useless and devastated, and just like I was so left behind. I didn't belong. I wasn't part of the crowd that had the nice things and that could do the things that I really wanted to and that I really loved, and that it was my whole entire world, and I was just left behind, and I was left out of it, and I was separate. And these feelings were too big. They were way too big for me to hold and process as a 10-year-old. By that stage, I was 10 or 11. And so I just pushed them down. And what I actually did was I made a conscious decision in that time, because as children, we actually make a very conscious decision to deal with our hard, difficult feelings that we can't process in a certain way. And repression is a big one. So I pushed and repressed down everything that was fun and joyful in my life. because I didn't have anything. But I've separated myself from it. I pushed it away into the shadows, into the unconscious. And I just pretended that I was fine. I pretended that I didn't need anything. I created an aspect of identity that was strong, tough, and independent. I needed nothing. I needed no one. I had it all handled. I was okay. And this is one of the big fractures that happens in our whole self, where we take a part and we push it down and separate from it. And that part does not die. It doesn't go away. It continues to impact and inform and express through us, through our unconscious. So I went through quite a beautiful inner child process this morning, where this is the little physical representation of my inner child, a little bat that my daughter crocheted for me. And when I do my processes, I hold her, because it's not just about acknowledging and recognizing these things in the mind. We need to actually come back into our body and anchor the feeling of reconnection. So imagining that 10, 11-year-old Sally that was in so much pain, and just reconnecting with her, bringing her back into my field and holding her and just allowing her to say and feel everything that she wanted to say and feel, and telling her that it's valid and it's important, and I am here to listen to her. And this is the work of inner mothering. This is where we become the inner mother to that child who didn't have any way to express herself. My mom wasn't available for me. I had to hide my pain from her. I had to hide my pain from my whole family, as many of us do. And it created this theme of separation that has continued in my life, where I have been the one pushing away the joy. It hasn't been life not bringing me joy. I haven't been able to receive it. And when we heal these deep inner wounds and we reclaim these inner child parts of us and we bring them home, then all of the energy that they've been holding, all of the resources, that joy is sitting there inside that part of me. And that part can now express, and it's the most beautiful feeling of reclamation. So on Mother's Day, my wish for everybody is that you can be a beautiful inner mother to your little inner child, and that you can hold them, and that you can give yourself everything that you didn't receive, and that you may come into wholeness, part by part, as we walk this journey of loving ourselves. So much love on Mother's Day to everybody.